your heart decide the path you take. Know that every decision you make has an effect on everything that is and that will be. Do you have the heart?
Are you ready for this?
Yeah, what you want me to do?
I want to go and rob and kill my target.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. Are you sure you're ready for this?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Good.
He did this. How you all doing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Take this. Don't come back into the house.
Yeah. Some boy them a go on like them bad enough. They really have it, God take you. They really have it, God. And go on like say they have it too. Yeah. So do them have the heart. We pull that trigger every night. Do you have the heart?
All right. Greetings, 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 greetings. Thank you so much, one and all. Thank you so much, one and all, for joining me. I just thought I'd give you a little bit of an intro, a few words, not my own words. That was DQ and Basker General, and it's called Do You Have the Heart, for those of you who want to know what's playing in the background. So yeah, I won't play it too loud because they will block my live, you get me, but I know these folks, so hopefully I'm cool. Get some royalties, shout them out, follow them, subscribe, YouTube, all right? Greetings, greetings. So I'm going to speak to you all quite briefly, well, quite frankly, quite candidly, this Sunday, yeah, really and truly, car. It has been, for me, the most blissful, the most appreciative, the most thankful, the most humbling week that I have had for myself personally in a long time. So, hi. Thank you for joining me. It's Leisha, also known as Ladybug on here, some of you may know, and I also run the group Bouncing Back. So if you guys have had an invite, it's from moi, okay? So please accept. It would be really nice to have you in there. We're doing some real positive stuff, building relationships, connecting, and looking towards a brighter future. So this is my personal timeline where I come to you guys on a Saturday, 6:30, 7 o'clock sort of time, have a chat, basically sort of say to you, find out how you're all doing, what's going on, how have you been for the last week, how are you all coping with what's going on, but more so to kind of reflect on my own journey, what I'm doing here, what my purpose is, and how I'm helping, the universe, how I'm bringing value to the people around me, how I'm contributing in a positive way to people's lives, not being a negative or a dark source of energy. So thank you one and all once again for joining me. I'm beaming or live streaming from Hertfordshire at the moment, and it's been a pretty nice weekend in regards to the weather. So I just like to always start there and say that I'm grateful for nature and watching it come alive at this moment of, as I'm calling it, transition. I don't know if you guys know, excuse me, on Fridays I like to post a Friday 5, although that was 10. Yeah, so I've posted a Friday 5, and it could be 5 motivational things, that 5 affirmations, 5 top tips, but just generally 5 things that I'm trying to implement, or 5 things that I'm trying to educate myself about, and they're reminders. My timeline is not only educational, informative, I hope, but I would like to think that it's a reminder also to myself as to my journey, my journal, who I am, what I'm doing, how I'm learning, how I'm growing, but being confident enough to kind of come on here and share that with you. Even the pitfalls, the times that I'm not feeling so great, I'd still come on here on a Sunday and I'll look a mess, but sometimes what's coming out of here is heartfelt. All right, so thank you one and all for joining me, taking the time, as we call it, man-made time, to use your energy, spend your energy with me. So thank you very much, Dayla, Elaine, Ollie. It's a pleasure to have you all on my live this evening, and I'd like to just share with you what it is that I put up on Friday. So it was 5 things to do if you was to lose your job. Now, the reason why I put this up is because we know what's happening in our environment, in society, globally at the moment, and there's a lot of uncertainty that we're all dealing with at the moment. There's a lot of people that are on furlough, as you know, and I'm not going to talk about the other side of what's happening. I'm just going to talk about the job aspirations, career aspirations, and the employment status that a lot of people may or may not be facing once they we start to go back out into the workplace, and there's some people who won't be going back out to their job at all, and that's exactly why I've been doing these lives for the last couple of years. So just to give you a little bit of history about myself and about my journey. I joined a network marketing company a couple of years back, nearly two and a half years now, nearly 3, but definitely 2.5 years ago. And that was because I was trying to struggle week in, week out, month after month, year after year, in regards to my job, my just over broke. Now, my situation is a little bit different to others. I do have a lot of debt. I did have a lot of debt. I've reduced my debt through years and years and years of being on the job. Never, ever got ahead. Never felt like there was room in my life or time in my day, in my week, where I could do something for myself, i.e., a hobby that I could accrue an income from, or a side hustle that was legal. Okay, that is the difference with my community, people that are around me, people that it is that I know, is that we're very good at finding side hustles, but that doesn't mean that they're legal. So I needed to do something where there wasn't risk. And the reason for that is that I was working in care. I'm an empath by birth from nature, and I'm a nurturer. I like to actually physically and mentally and emotionally care for others, and sometimes to the detriment of myself, but that's a different story. So working in the care industry, working very long hours, I was coming across a lot of my colleagues and a lot of who became friends, and we just were not making ends meet with our hourly rate, basically, and we would work as many hours as legally possible, sometimes not legally possible, if that makes sense, and we would need we'd need an additional income, but we didn't have the time. It's as simple as that. So I was introduced to this particular network marketing company via a family member, and I didn't really know what I was doing at first. I'll just be quite honest with you. It was a hobby. I kind of laughed about it. I spoke to a couple of friends, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this is all right. This is good." And as a period of time went on, I started to see the benefits of just doing something outside of having a job, a 9 till 5, whether it's a night shift day, but just having a job in general. And it was more to do with the people that I connected with, the support structure that was there. And I don't know if anybody else is in a team of people, but where it's not just about support, everybody comes with something different. They're saying, or our team saying, is that our vibe attracts our tribe. Yeah? And that's pretty much what it is that I get from my team. Yeah, really and truly. They really do stand by me and support me, and in my lowest moments over the last couple of years, I've been able to go and rely on them basically and make those calls. So that they have been a very good support network. Outside of them as individuals, the training and the coaching and the way that they have helped me develop my confidence to be able to come on here week after week, to be able to really examine what it is that I have been doing with my life. 20 odd years of, like I said, of working for somebody else, just about making ends meet. Don't want to rely on a system or an income or some sort of help, benefit from, should we say, government, outside sources. I'm very independent and want to rely on me. And I got into debt through my own and in bad relationships. So that's why I needed to do something that was not immediate money, but brought me something that as much effort as I put into it is what I'd get back. So that's what made me start looking at, like I said, a side hustle, network marketing. And I was fortunate enough to land myself in a very good company, but not just the company itself, but the company with the people okay? My team especially. And I would just really like to thank them time and time again for giving me transferable skills that I didn't even know that I really had, and being able to really dig deep in regards to who it is that I am. And this particular moment in time, this transition, this suspension is what I call it, this suspension, this moment that we're in, has really given me the personal opportunity to dig deep in regards to who I am, what I'm able to do, what I'm good at, why I'm doing it, more importantly, and who I'm doing it with. So with all that being said, that's what brings me here. For the last 2 years, I've been trying to slowly educate people to look at alternative brands, alternative ways of shopping, but alternative ways of creating yourself an income. Some people look at me and go, I want to know what she does, and so they message me or they contact me and they reach out and they communicate. Now, I'm not here to make money off of anybody. That's the first thing that I want to put out there, because people hear network marketing and they go, she just wants to climb the ladder. She just wants to put herself up there. She just wants to earn money off of somebody else. But if you are in a job, sorry to say, but you're kind of already doing that anyway, okay? So I don't want to sort of make out that what I'm doing is any different from what anybody else is doing. I still have a job. It's something that I choose to do, okay? I work for my local pharmacy 3 days a week, part-time, which gives me the time to come here, plan what it is that I'm doing with the rest of my life and implement that, okay? So me working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, I worked nearly 80 hours a week in one when I was working in care. And nobody really stopped to think as how I was really doing that. But all the other stuff I was doing as well, I was going to kill myself. It's going to be a slow death of the person who it was. So I've stepped back, I've reevaluated, I've reassessed. And like I said, this moment in time has really given me personally order. So I'm hoping you guys are utilizing this opportunity to actually look at what it is you're good at. Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. Sorry, I just kind of got really caught in the moment. I'm not being rude, forgive me. I'm just waving to you all just so you know I'm acknowledging you, and I will read your comments as I go. I'll take a pause, catch my breath, read some of your comments, okay? So the last 2 years, like I said, I've been hustling, trying to figure out what's going on. And what I've been hearing in the news of late is that when people are now looking towards going back into the employment after what's going on, we're asking ourselves certain questions. Some people have been told that there is no position at all. Their role is no longer exists because of the building. Some people will work from home, which is good for them, and it will then give them an opportunity to have a look at their diary, prioritise their family. And for others who are going back, they're worried about their safety, they're worried about all the things that's being kind of discussed in regards to this distancing, okay, and testing and tracking and all of that stuff. I'm not going there, all right? So this is purely in, this live stream. What I'm going to be talking about is for those people who have been looking for something else to do, who have now heard from their employer that things aren't going to be the same, and they're concerned and they're worried and they don't know what to do. So my Friday post was things to do when you lose your job, all right? And these, it was just something I found by doing a search, so it's not like statistically proven, but these are the things that I found that, looking at them, they really did actually help me in regards to the amount of jobs I've had. And believe you me, my CV is very, very long. Very long. I've worked in all types of industry. I've always tried to look for jobs that fit my personality and my skill. And a few years ago, I realised that I was it was a losing battle for me. A couple of years ago, I was in a very good job. I was earning okay money, but I was bored. I was mentally bored, and that's what made me go back into care, is because I was then mentally challenged to look after, not mentally challenged, but the challenges in order to look after people, to get to know how they are, working in dementia, palliative care, end of life, all that sort of stuff. So I preferred that sort of environment in regards to the people, but the money, again. So I've never been able to find a happy balance in regards to people and what it is that I'm doing and what it is that, my annual salary. Again, I'm only a key worker at the moment. I say only because I'm on minimum wage. I don't do anything strenuous or, you know, overly demanding. Anybody can do what I'm doing in regards to driving and delivering some drugs, in regards to medication, legal, okay? Just in case people think about it, delivering drugs. But, you know, and getting to know my community. So, again, that's why I enjoy what it is that I do. I'm out getting to know my community, taking care of people, making sure they get their medication, albeit I'm not one to actually take them myself. So it's a bit of irony there. But the first thing that I realised that any time that I've been sacked or dismissed or terminated in regards to employment, and even when I've made that decision that I want to leave, and I haven't got somewhere to move on to, because there are times that I've been sitting at my desk in various stages of my life and I've just gone, I can't do this. And I just put my coat on and I say, yeah, I'm going to lunch. And I don't come back ever. Not just don't come back from lunch. I just don't go back. Because I can't do that no more. And this is a cycle. This is a pattern that happens and has been happening with me ever since I started work. I don't know if there's people out there or who be watching this who have done the same job for 5 years. 5 years plus, 10 years plus, 20 years plus. I don't know if people still do that. You know, are there jobs out there now that where you're indisposable and you're being well paid and you're able to, you know, cater to all of your needs without it being a stretch? And when I say without it being a stretch, I also mean being pulled away from your family in regards to the number of hours you have to work in order to have the income that it is that you're accruing. And I really decided that, you know, like I said a few years ago, I didn't want to be capped. I didn't want to be an annual salary. It's like someone puts a number on your head. I spoke to my friend about this recently, about putting a price on my head. None of us want to be held back or suppressed or put into a state of depression, is another post I made about. And that was because of my work. That was because of my job. It wasn't the type of job. It was just because that I was giving somebody else so much of my time. And I wasn't doing anything for me. So I decided that giving back to people, giving back to my community, giving back my time was more rewarding. Not as financially beneficial. So I had to find something else to do. I have to find something else to do with my time. So February was Yard Foods, the creation. Dreamt about it 2 years ago, bought all the domain names, never done anything with it. Got distracted by being on the job. Even got distracted from my network marketing. Being overwhelmed and consumed by everything that it is that I was doing. Got to pay bills, got to pay bills, got to pay debt. And it wasn't even just my immediate bills, because then it wouldn't have been an issue, because we all have those day-to-day, month-to-month immediate bills. It was the stuff that I was hanging on to from my past that just kept on reminding me as how I accrued that debt furthermore. Shitty relationships, or sorry to swear, but it really was not the best relationship. So the first thing that I always find the difficult is my confidence gets knocked. Like I said, when I lose a job, leave a job, you know, quit a job, my confidence is knocked, because I think, is it me? Is it my skill? Was I not good enough? So what I have to then go and do is reaffirm who it is that I am. So I do go and pick up my CV and have a long look at that list of employments, different skills, all the things, all the little bullet points that they make you come out with in your interviews, and remind myself, reaffirm with myself all the things that I can see black and white on paper that I've done. I did that, okay? So that's the first step, is building back my confidence, building back your confidence. Even in this moment in time, not knowing what's going to happen next week, not knowing where we're going to be at the end of June, you know, even children going back to school. This is all about reaffirming your confidence, building back your self-esteem. Even the whole body issues we're dealing with because we've all been eating more. This is all about building back and reaffirming your self-esteem, reaffirming who you are, why you're doing it, how you're going to do it. All right? The hard bit. This is the hard bit for me, because my family have helped me financially and emotionally for a very long period of time. So if you do lose your job, making that phone call to your family member, especially to my mum, and saying, guess what? And she knows you've lost another job. You've quit another job. you've walked out again. So, yeah, you do have to tell your loved ones. That's number 2 on the list. Because if you haven't got somebody out there, a friend, a very close friend or family member who knows what it is that you're going through, it can be the loneliest time. And yet we look at the unemployment figures and we know there are other people that are unemployed. But when it's yourself, when it's you, when it's the person, when it's just you standing there, whether you're in your flat or in your bedroom or wherever you are, looking at your car thinking, there's a payment due next month. There's rent due. Like, how am I going to do this? So you do have to tell somebody, because you might need to turn to certain people and say, you might need to help me out. I'm waiting for my benefits to come through, so you might need to help me out, even if it's just food, even if it's just gas and electric that they put on the meter, right? So you do have to tell someone. I think for me, walking out of a job, a couple of times, I've walked out celebrating, because it's like I've been proud of myself for not putting up with the BS that I was getting for that salary, yeah? So I always go away and enjoy myself. I know it sounds weird, but I do. I have that moment of celebration, that moment of freedom, that moment of, I don't have to do that job anymore. Behind all the panic, I have that moment of enjoyment. That weekend I might go out and splurge, might drink a bit too much, might smoke a bit too much. But it's a way of dealing with grief, with loss. And then after the haze has cleared and that mad panic, I then go into logic mode and start looking for a job again. Back onto the agencies, very proactive. I'm very good at finding jobs, trust me. If anyone needs help finding a job, I'm your woman. I really am. I'm the sort of person, I can apply for 50 jobs in one day and people are like, I understand everyone does it, but I get 2 or 3 job offers when I do actually get interviewed, because I'm manifesting what it is that I need. I physically go for what it is that I need. And I will not be sidetracked. And even in the interview, I tell them I don't just want this job, but I need this job. I'm very honest in my interviews. So they know what they're getting once they've employed me. I'm not abrupt, I'm not rude, I'm not strict, I'm not abrasive, all the words that people use. That's not me. But I do come across very direct, very succinct, because time is money. And right about now, sitting here in this interview, I'm not earning nothing. So the quicker we get through this process and you give me the job, is the quicker I can get back on track, basically. Yeah? Hence bouncing back. I'm always bouncing back on track. Okay? Number 4 on here says reassess and review. Now, I kind of do that partly with number 1. Reassess, review, reaffirm. Okay? All the R's. Because those are important. Those are important. You need to review why you were doing it, why you left, where you're going now. All right? What was the plan? And then move forward. That's the reassess and review. And then plan again, move forward. And number 5 is the simple one. It's only 2 words and it sounds really easy, but it's get help. A lot of people panic and they think, where can I get help? You do have to reach out. And that's one thing that I realise when it comes to employment, is that I reach out fast. The agencies, my CV's updated, that process is fast. Now, it's self-help, but I take myself and go and get that help. So, although it says get help, knowing where to go, yeah? And it's not, you're not asking, because these people are employed to help. Yeah, these agencies, these HR departments, these recruitment places, they're employed to do that job. So go to them. Yeah? I become a bit of a pest if that's the case. But just moving on and sort of, coming to a sort of conclusion is that don't be scared to try something new. There's quite a lot of cliche sayings, is that even if you don't know how to do something, try it. Now, I'm not talking about in regards to the risk of self. I'm talking about in regards to a business opportunity, or in regards to a hobby and something that could potentially bring you an additional income. Because a lot of us right about now have found skills that, like we said, we didn't think that we had. Some people have been really good and networked really, really cleverly over the last few weeks. And they've got their businesses up and running online. They've moved their audience, they've moved their customers, they've moved their client base. Because what they offer, people want. People are loyal. Yeah, people are sincere, people are genuine, so you gravitate towards those people. So just don't be scared, is what it boils down to. It's not scary times. It's not like we're living in the unknown. Take control of what you can. And what we can kind of determine is who we are, where we're going, our growth, what we learn, how we develop, and how we help others. You know, because this has been a time as, you know, I've really, really seen who's reached out. There's probably people saying, but you ain't reached out to me. Do you want me to? Eh? I don't know, do I? I don't know. You know what I mean? Just a hi, just a comment on a post, just a like, you know, but hi, let's talk, anything. But I won't know unless somebody does that. So I could try and contact 50, 60 people a day, but is it warranted? Be like, why has she contacted me? So rather than checking in, I like to check on with the people that check in with me, really and truly. And I will keep extending my circle and trying to bring people into my fold, and those frequencies and those energies will even match, and we'll get along and we'll build together, and we'll have, you know, eventually become friends, perhaps eventually meet, you know, we'll want to meet. And that's what I like about some of the people that I have connected with on here, is that we are talking of when we can meet. You know, although we do Zoom calls and we can see each other and we can talk and stuff, but it's about that actual interaction, that touch, that sort of the scent of another human can tell you a lot about people, you know, and that facial recognition, that contact, that interaction, that body language, all of that means a lot. And I think we all need it in our lives. We all want it in our lives. So this kind of, you know, space that we've all been given, this opportunity of time and space, albeit for me it's been very, very productive, and I know for others it's not been the best of times, and there's still a lot going on out there. It's not like it wasn't there before, it's just that it's still going on and the numbers increase. So thank you for those of you who have joined me. Nate, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Paris. And Dayla, I think you've stayed all the way. It's been great. It's been great. So she said that's why she don't sign up for... That's why I don't sign up for life insurance. Yeah, life insurance is a funny one. Health insurance, perhaps. Life insurance is something that some people consider because of their families, and if something happens that may be untimely in regards to an illness or an accident, and it's the way some people look at it, is a way of protecting their family. So I'm not going to talk against insurances, because just quickly before I actually close, something quite personal. One of my family members had the roof recently cave in on their flat and was flooded, and a lot of furniture and property has been damaged, clothing, you know, everything that you could, you know, basically your whole bedroom. Can you imagine it being flooded and swamped with the gunk that's come out of the roof above you? And some of it's salvageable and repairable, but the biggest thing that stuck out was contents insurance, and we can find money to replace what's there, and I'm grateful that nobody was injured, so that's where the life insurance bit, perhaps, you know. But yeah, definitely contents insurance, you know, depending on whether you own your property or whether you're in a top floor flat and you've got a roof, you know, buildings and contents may be something that you can get a deal on. So there are things that I look into, there are things that I, you know, people that I work with very closely, to make sure that people, like I said, know that there are alternatives, that there are options, they're not alone. And I will be a consultation type person, a consultant, and perhaps just recommend and point you in a direction that you didn't know what was there, or people, or, you know, things that you didn't know was there. And it's because we've all been down, basically, and we know what it's like to struggle. So when the help and the support is offered, it is sincere, it is genuine, it's not a money-making venture, you know. So I just give people the opportunity, the chance to hear that it's not all doom and gloom. There is ways out of depression, there is ways out of debt, there is ways to find good people, and gravitate because you're like-minded, you know, you're kindred souls in regards to the way you move and how you interact and how you engage and your purpose and the fact that you're mindful. So yeah, it means a lot. It means a lot. It means a lot to me to be around the people who I am right now. So with that, don't want to be all depressive and get too emotionally deep, because I think this has been quite a serious live. And you know what I'm like. I like to close with a little bit of a song, a little bit of a tune, and I will play less than 37 seconds, because then Facebook, Fastbook, Fiestabook, whatever you want to call it, Nosybook, won't block it. So for those of you who know, and I just before this plays, who watched Bounty and Beanie last night? It's on YouTube, yeah. The clash, it was alright, but it was worth viewing. Yeah, it's worth viewing if you're into that type of music and you just want something light. You know what I mean? Just have a laugh and feel like it's 1993 again. Go watch this. So I'm gonna close on this car. And it's not just work, as in on the job. Work on yourself, yeah? All right. Bless, manners, respect. Namaste, Rastafari. More power to the people. More love in your hearts. Sharing is caring. Health is wealth. Guidance, protection in abundance. Agan. Don't wait on no one. Do your thing, yeah? Don't wait on no one. God, I just want to hear the chorus, not the words. Money is a thing that you should love. Everyone. Don't mind my voice. Whoa. Don't be a jerk. You must work harder. See it there? More love. God. I can't hear the lyrics. You got to have some ambition. Don't make no excuses. Just get out there and try. See it there? This is what trying does. Yeah, this is what trying does. Trying makes you build a business from scratch. Trying to find your path leads you to the people, yeah? Leads to the people that you need and want in your life to make this journey a pleasurable one. 2 years ago, I was ripping my locks out. Literally, I had a breakdown on Facebook because I didn't know what to do. 2.5 years later, here I am, confidently sitting here saying, I can't tell you how to do it or when to do it, but I can lead by example because I did it. I'm doing it. Much love. Take care. I'm outie. Whoa.